Alright, welcome back. So in the last video we were looking into the design pattern of prompt chaining, and in this video I'm going to show you another design pattern, basic design pattern called routing. So let's get started. Okay, just a refresher. Routing is a design pattern where we take a decision based on user input or a user query. How should I handle this query? Basically, there are few ways, unique ways the functionality exists as a backend, but which functionality I need to invoke to handle a user query. So we took example of employee IT support, right? Every company has IT support team, and they keep getting different tickets like related to password reset, email not accessible, or software issue. So every area has, let's say, specialized person who is able to address those issues or resolve those tickets. So now we are going to take a look how I can use agentic AI behavior to address or automate this whole IT support system. So first of all, I'm connected to the Colab environment, and this is the use case which I think you're already aware of. We covered in detail. Now let me get started with the installation of same libraries which I installed in a previous video, which was LangGraph, LangChain Core, and LangChain OpenAI. Then I will import these libraries. Okay, so same libraries, no change. All the libraries which I used in the previous one, I'm continuing to use the same one. Then I need OpenAI access because I want to access GPT-4o mini model. So that is where I'm getting it here. So give grant access. Now, what are the files which I need? So basically I prepared a dummy data. So let me show you what data I have. So we have hardware issue, again in a JSON format, which talks about issue category, laptop failure, ticket ID, status, and then other details, repair options. Similarly, another hardware issue like a monitor failure. So data about different types of hardware issues. Then network issues, connectivity loss, what is the status, temporary solution, remote support available, and then what other type of issues, slow connection, and few more. So I have some data, dummy data available. Then password reset, generally this is a common ticket which people see because they don't actually reset their password on time, and then password gets locked. So a locked account urgent, this is the type of request. Then forgot password, no SMS. So these are the different scenarios I have captured. Finally, the software issue, like if I'm not able to install anything, or there's a problem with my operating system. So application crashing. So various different type of software issue. So these are the four different categories of think of that as a services for which I prepare the dummy data. Now these, for agentic AI application, these will be separate APIs. You can think of a separate services which any application like an AI agent application will invoke. Now I have put a dummy data, I've just mimicked it, put this as in the form of a JSON files, and I need to create a data folder first. Let me create data folder and move these files there. Okay, data, and 1, 2, 3, 4, all these files will go here. Okay, let's check. Okay, we got only one file. Okay, let's get other one, third and fourth. All right, so now I'll run this. I have the data folder, and all the data files are present in the respective under the data folder. So now I'll load these files, and each of these file, if you see, I'm storing this information in respective variable names or field names, because I'm returning a dictionary, and I'm keeping the field name as a password reset in case it's a password data, hardware issue in case hardware data, software issue, or network problem in case software and network issue. Okay, so I'm loading it here. So this is loaded. Now we define the state definition. So state definition, I explained it last time. It is a snapshot of the data at a given point of time in a workflow, which is a LangGraph is a workflow. So we are using a workflow design or a workflow concept of a LangGraph, not autonomous yet. Maybe I will record those autonomous behavior of agentic AI in future videos with the different use cases, but right now we are using a workflow implementation of a LangGraph. So where I need to define some state variables. like user query. So query I always need to store so that we can give a complete context to a model, what was the original query. Next, extracted intent. That is what we are going to ask LLM. Okay, here is the query. Tell what kind of problem user is facing. So classify this problem into 4 categories. So that's the extracted intent. Third, external service response. Then I will call external service. This is the previously I have showed all the data. These are acting as external services, but right now they are locally dummy data in the form of a file. And then prepare a final response. So let's run this. Now we will start creating our nodes. Remember, this is a routing pattern. I will show you how the graph looks like, but I believe that in this one you already remember that something this kind of design we talked about, where we are going to get a user input, and we'll extract the intent, and from the intent we'll see where should I route this request. Should I route it to password service, password reset service, should I route to hardware issue service, and so on and so forth. So let's get started. First node is extract user intent. All I'm going to do is I'm going to ask LLM, you are an IT support intent classifier, and analyze the user's query and classify into one of these categories. Okay, password reset, hardware issue, software issue, network problem. I'm giving one line explanation what is this category, because that helps model to understand what is the meaning of each term here, like a password reset. So, and I'm asking it to return only category name, which is this, and nothing else. Okay, so this is my extraction node. So let's run this. Next is, now I have to define all these nodes, whatever nodes here, like password reset, hardware issue, these are all nodes, right? Which in real application they will be calling external services, but now I have that node itself holding the data in the form of JSON, and it will respond. So for example, call password reset service. So the query will come, we'll load the data, and we will just return this one. External service response is the full data I'm going to load. Now what I'm actually doing is I'm giving the complete data to model, and let model figure it out what to respond based on different types of issues which I talked about, which was like if it is a password issue like here. So I'm going to give complete JSON here, which has all the different request types under password reset category. So, and model can figure it out based on the query which one to pick up and respond, and we will take a look when we run it. So run this. So this is the external service for password, similarly external service for hardware, external service for software, and external service for network problem. Exactly same 4 services, 4 nodes, but we're still calling it as a node 2, because first node is extraction node, second node is any of these 4 nodes which will be invoked based on the extraction of the intent. And the third node or routing logic is one which I will talk about, because there are 4 nodes, and any of the 4 nodes should be picked up based on user query, any one. Now we need a routing logic. So that's what here we have called this function called, or build this function route based on intent. So if the intent is password reset, then route it to password reset service, and we'll return this one, routing service. So you see next node is this, print return next node. Finally, generate personalized response. Now this is the main part. Now how will user, so first one is we involved LLM to figure out the intent of customer query. Based on the intent, we did a routing. That's previously which we did. Like if the intent is password reset, then call this service, or there's the service mapping here. So it is just picking the next node, which is this one or this one or this one, any one of them. And then we are going to generate a response once that service is the whole data from that service is returned. So now we are asking LLM as playing a role of a helpful IT support assistant, generate a clear actionable response based on the external service data, format the response as, first of all, brief identification of the issue, immediate actions available, step 1, step 2, third and fourth step if available, alternative, what are the alternative methods with contact information, estimated resolution time, priority, and keep it concise, professional, actionable. So this is how we are trying LLM to mimic the behavior of an IT support person and come up with this output structure as a response while responding to user query. And do that, then generate a user-friendly IT support response. That's all. And after that, we will build the graph now. Now to build the graph, we have how many nodes? First node was extraction of the intent. Then we have 4 nodes, each one for each service. And then fifth one and the 6th one is the generate response, which is the final response which it has to generate. So we have 6 nodes, and all we need to do is we have to add edge. First start with extract intent. Then immediately after extracted intent, I need to add a conditional edge. Like this condition, if you see that we are using a route based on intent, that was the function we are going to call, pass the extract intent node result and asking it, okay, what is the outcome? If the outcome is this service, this service, this service, this service, then accordingly it should call the respective node. And so that's a conditional based routing. Okay. All right, next is add edge. Once any of these services called, after this any of the service, everything will be pointing to generate response. So because that's the last step. And finally from generate response, we have an end node, which means end of the graph. So let's run this. I think I already ran. My graph is created, first compiled, then created. Now let's visualize it using the same image and display functions. So you see here, start, extract intent. Each of these are nodes with respective services. So services means specialized services which these nodes offer, and once that service data is exchanged with the model, then it will give it to the next node, which is generate response, and LLM will use that service data to generate a response for user query, and that's the end of it. Now to run it, what I need is I need to just again keep the same function, like some kind of a client function, run IT support and pass a query and invoke the model. And while invoking the model, only thing is I'm passing the user query, rest I'm keeping it, although I can omit these variables, not needed, because I'm anyway setting as a null or none value or blank value, and they will be set accordingly when we invoke the graph. But definitely I need to have at least one variable or one field value set, which is the user query. So let's run this. And first test case, hi IT support, I forgot my password and I have been logged out from my account after 3 failed attempts. I need to access it ASAP for an important meeting in 30 minutes, please help. So let's run this. Intent, okay, it said intent was password reset service is called. Now here is the response it got. Your account is currently logged and you need to reset password urgently. Immediate check your registered email for verification link and click on it, answer the 2 security questions and all. So you see that this is like if you remember, we asked if we break the resolution step 1, step 2, step 3 and 4, and then also provide any alternative solution. If you prefer a manual override, please contact IT team at this number, fine, estimated resolution type and all. Okay, so let's try another one. Hardware issue, my laptop won't turn on at all. I tried charging it overnight but still nothing. I have urgent work to complete today. Okay, let's see that. What do we get? It's a hardware issue. It has identified as a hardware issue. Yes, call hardware support service, ticket created, estimated resolution time 3 days, and generating personalized response. So here, backup critical data if possible, request a loaner laptop from IT, submit a diagnostic report via support portal. And otherwise you can also reach out using this number. 3 days of resolution, priority high, immediate attention required due to hardware failure. Okay, so we can continue to do that, and there are few more test cases I have written, but idea you got is the important part is that how these queries, when I'm asking, automatically agent is figuring it out which backend service I need to call, because our agent has a specialized services configured for different kind of problems, and here we demonstrated 4 different kind of problems. So I hope you like this video. In case you have any question, feel free to ask in the comment section, or and if you need a notebook, this notebook is available in the description. I will provide a link in the description of this video, and please try it out. Let me know if you find any issue with the notebook. and stay tuned for next video. Thanks for watching.